The character of Poppins herself is kind of like the Disney version of the Joker in a way.
How about a magic trick?
I'm glad you said that. Seriously. Like, first of all, there's two things I actually picked up as kind of an aside. A, and this is me getting completely IT nerd involved here. How many people who are like nerdy inclined have put together Dungeons and Dragon stats for Mary Poppins as a bard? I'm just throwing that out there. A, I got the heartless guy to laugh. A and B. A and B. Seriously, how many people think this was just some sort of super intelligent, devious plot to get the old guy at the bank assassinated by way of laughter, murder, because he literally laughed himself to death?
Not exactly the route I was gonna take, but I mean, but the element of chaos that she brings to the house and to the other characters, she keeps everybody off balance. And when you're the most off balance, and when you're in a spot where you're lacking the most direction, it's also a spot where you're more vulnerable to manipulation. And she manipulates the heck out of everybody, including the kids. What? Winning a horse race? How dare you suggest such a thing? And everything she does to the father, planting the idea to take his kids out to on an outing, etc. She keeps everybody off balance. In fact,
literally drops the line, Mary Poppins doesn't explain anything.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, crap. I wish I can get away with that. Honey, why didn't you take the trash out? Student of the game doesn't explain anything. Screw that. Right in the face.
In fact, the character that eventually gets through to the father and to the kids, because he sits down and actually has a straightforward talk with both of them, is Bert. The film should have been called Bert, but it probably would have sold as many tickets as Poppins.
If I'm looking at Mary Poppins as an agent of chaos, as you just introduced her, then maybe I want to look at it a little bit different. Granted, her agent of chaos isn't quite like the Joker, which I may have gotten more out of if she did start murking cats. Like, I may have gotten a bit more love for that. But what I can say is Julie Andrews did the job. She played a phenomenal job. She played the role. I don't like the person. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to hang out with Mary Poppins. She just didn't do it for me personally. Like, that's where, my disconnect starts to happen. If we're talking about Julie Andrews as an actress, I think she did a phenomenal job, because who she was in Mary Poppins, I didn't see her do that in any other role. In my opinion, she wasn't Mary Poppins in any other role that she was ever in my opinion. But Mary Poppins, to me, she's not my cup of tea. I'm not drinking her in.
She kind of comes across as a surprise to the kids as well, I think. They ask for... I'm trying to avoid saying practically perfect creature with rosy cheeks, no warts, and so forth. But they get a character that, despite her magical tenacity, she's just as stern as the father in many scenes.
Well, but that's what they need.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they ask for all this stuff, and then they got what they asked for. But it was disguising what they needed. So I mean, like I said, she brought the work. Mary Poppins' whole job was to be the stiff hand, disguised. She was the medicine, but the magic was the sugar. I mean, that's it.
I think that in a way that the film kind of keeps you as off balance towards her character as the character is towards the surrounding cast. I think that makes it a little bit more fascinating in a way. The film doesn't hit you over the head saying you must love this character. In fact, the moments that I felt closest to her character was whenever she was just interacting with Dick Van Dyke and nobody else. Because she showed a little bit more vulnerability. She smiled. She was a little bit more down to earth.
I can feel you on that one. She flew in, just very proper, and it's like I felt like with the music and the twinkle and everything, I felt like they wanted me to look at her like this, that like she was a savior, and everybody else is blown away. Like, how do I know one of those other ladies wouldn't have done a phenomenal job? They just couldn't handle the twister.
That's because most of them were men in drag, just because of the stunts. But
Right.
True, which is true, actually.
That's crazy.
Oh well, yeah, but okay. If she came in and she was that savior, wouldn't it make her the same type of character you see in almost every other kids' film?
True.
Considering what she could do snapping her fingers, don't give this chick the damn Infinity Gauntlet. I am just damn saying. Shoot! Disaster! Like, you think it's bad to be laughing and end up on the ceiling? Holy shiz, bro. When she lands in, if you didn't need her, she wouldn't be there. So, of course, she's going to come off as perfect, especially compared to Mr. Banks and his whole situation. He thinks he's perfect. And keep in mind, in what many alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity, at least according to certain lines I've heard from Pulp Fiction, and you're at your rock bottom, you suddenly realize Mrs. Poppins made you better. Okay. And it's not just as far as you reconnecting with your children, which is what any father in Mr. Banks' situation wants to desire. It also made you a better professional overall. After all, he ended up being a partner in the bank shortly after committing inadvertent murder by way of the leg named Smith, which, wow, this really is a Quantum Leap episode, but I digress. Of course, Mrs. Poppins, excuse me, damn it, I did it again. Ms. Poppins comes off as perfect because she is exactly what you need right then. Otherwise, she would not have wasted her time to show up. And what makes her seem so almost uppity, almost elitist about it is she knows you need her, but she's not going to tell you why. And I think that's kind of the problem here.
If you're here for a reason and you know why you're here, just tell me, okay? Because we can save some time and heartache if you just let me know what's going on, and then we can just start to reach for that right now.
Is it my turn for the popcorn?
You're a spiritual man. You know that ain't how things work like that.
Oh, no. I know it's not. I totally know it's not. You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink, baby. They need to understand, and they need to reach it for themselves. Totally get it. I'm just saying, if Tokyo J is in the movie, there's going to be a lot of movies that won't get made because y'all just be like, look, kids, be better.
Well, hold on. It's not that the movies wouldn't be made. They would just be too short to be released in theaters. Okay? They'd be YouTube videos.
You know what, though? There is a character that does that. And that's Bert.
Yeah.
But when let's take a step back and let's play conspiracy theory on Mary Poppins. I can't believe I said that. But
already was Quantum Leap. How much more conspiracy Debo?
Would a man of George Banks's stature be in a position to take advice from a lowly ne'er-do-do chimney sweep if it wasn't for the orchestration to put these two characters together and put him in a moment of desperation to have his ears opened to listen? Mary Poppins makes that possible.
So what you're trying to tell me is like it's Romanov and Hawkeye with Bert and Mary Poppins.
More or less.
Look, if you don't have Mary Poppins there to intervene, the only way you're going to get a rich cat to listen to somebody is if he is visited in the night by three spirits.